Hello and thanks for tuning in. Those of you who follow this channel know that I love taking something that's being thrown away or scrapped and recycling it back into something useful. And we've got a great example of that right here. Muggsy's requiring some attention. I'll be right there, Muggs. But so what we've got is an old metal cabinet that's being thrown away. And this is old. Made in Illinois. So they don't make them like this anymore. It's pretty rusty, the handle's messed up. The interior isn't bad. It's green, but that's okay. I think the shelves are, like the shelves, oh, that shelf's removable. So the shelves come out. It's riveted together, so I will not be disassembling this. Let's see, North Carolina National Gas Corp. So it's got some history. I don't know how it ended up from there to being scrapped in Florida. But yeah, it looks like it's a lot of sanding and cleaning up. And like, see, it's riveted. Got some dents in the back and some dents in the front. And then the doors are crooked and this handle's messed up. Oh, Mugs. But yeah, I think it's a pretty easy project. The hardest part is going to be getting all that oil out. I don't know if I need to paint the inside. I definitely need to paint the shelves, but the walls of the inside, the green, are actually in pretty good shape. Well, no, it's rusty there. It's a lot more paint if I paint the inside of this. Yeah, I got to think about that. I'll definitely be painting the shelves though. I got to get the oil off these too. All right, so that's our project. Oh, I got Rusty coming in to see what's going on. So yeah, that's our project. And it's a nice day. I don't have much time because it's already 4 o'clock this afternoon, but I'm hoping I can get the shelves out and get them cleaned up and maybe sanded and painted today. And then I'll work on the cabinet, hopefully, if the weather is like this, especially tomorrow. All right, let's get busy. Moxie. Definitely get a better look at the shelves here. This one clearly there's a lot of oil on it. That's dry, just rusty. See the inside of the cabinet, the base. Oh, that's another shelf down there, I think. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the floor's just coming up. I don't know. It certainly feels like it's another shelf. Maybe not. Maybe the floor's just coming up. I'll have to check that because this could be the floor of the cabinet and it's up. Yeah, it's pretty filthy. So let me check this floor and start getting this cleaned out. If the shelf, this bottom comes out. No, that's not supposed to come out, but I do believe that's the floor of the cabinet, so it has to be hit back into place. But I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. Yeah, it's got, everything's covered in oil. That's going to make it harder to paint for sure. Alright, since this one's the worst, I'm going to wipe it down with acetone first. Those two, very minor, wipe down, but this guy, this is bad. I've got 60 grit on here. Should cut through this pretty quickly. These are just shelves. They don't need to be polished like glass. Alright, I'm going to do the other two and I'll be back. Alright, so you should be able to take this lock off with a 7/8. And this thing seems to just be held on by a cotter pin. Okay, didn't expect the whole mechanism to come apart, but that's okay. I can figure out how to put that back together later. And then this should be, if it's like toolbox locks, it's a 7/8, and it is. Set. So this hardware, I will restore it separately. All right. So I'm ready to paint the drawers, and I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to use hammered gray on these, but many years ago, I did a project where I used quartz. So I'm going to actually, if I can find a roller, I'm going to roll it on. If not, I will just simply brush it on these. I'll be back. I did have roller that will be good for this. I found 2 near empty cans and 2 full cans, which surprises me. But I do have to stir it. Let's see what these are. What shape these are in. I may have enough to actually brush the entire inside. These look pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty old. Yeah, these look bad. So I'm going to use a prime Chinesium wrench to stir this. Let's see how it rolls on. I did an entire RV with this hammered silver, not gray, and just rolled it on, and it looked pretty much as good as spray. It's obviously thicker. Okay, what I learned in rolling this, and this is just a first coat, is that you have to roll it very slowly. And as I recall, when I did the RV, not that I really care about these shelves at all, I don't. They're going to look fine, just even. They do have some stripes on them, like you can see there. But you can just go over it lightly with a spray can, and it will correct that problem. So I'm going to actually paint the back of the cabinet now with the roller. I'll be back. So it's all rolled. It's not quite dry yet, but what you can do, kind of even off the finish, and go over a little bit with a spray can as it dries. But it's really not dry enough yet to do it. We've got a lot of shadows here, but it's only been about 20 minutes or half an hour since I finished. It's still very sticky, but it's starting to even out, and it will continue to even out so that I can quickly just touch it up with a spray can. I got a problem up there. It's just very heavy. I don't really know why that is. It's not a run. I guess I just put it on too heavy. I don't think I can do much with a brush right now. I'll just hit it with a spray can after. These came out okay. I got these tarps keep moving and landing on them, and this one's got full of paint debris, so hopefully that's not in the paint. But these are drying out nice. All right, it's been about an hour since I applied the paint, so it's starting to settle. The lines and things are starting to fade. You know, that's a thing when you put on a heavy coat of hammered. It does take it a while. It actually takes it a full 7 days to fully dry as well. But I think it's coming out great. It's a quick and dirty job. You know, I don't want to make this thing perfect. It's going to have cans of paint and all sorts of stuff. It's just going to look like hell after a year or two anyway. But I did want to make it look so it at least fits in the workshop and doesn't look like a rusted Hulk. And so we're getting there. I got a couple mistakes on it. I really don't know what did this, but I'll probably end up sanding that and hitting it again. It's weird. I'm not really sure what did it. I guess probably because it was so hot out when I painted this. But overall, the finish isn't bad. You know, for using up 3 quarts, well, technically 1 quart and 2 1/4 quarts of Rust-Oleum hammered that I just had drying or going bad on the shelf, I think it's gonna be perfect. Just what I need. All right. So yeah, I expect to get a lot of grief on this, on how sloppy it is, how I did a terrible job, and that's okay, because it's got a purpose in the workshop, and it's a dirty job, so it doesn't need to be perfect, but I didn't want it to look all rusty and dirty. All right, so I'll see you soon. We'll probably pick this back up tomorrow. I may move it into the workshop then, but as I said, it's gonna take it, you know, like 7 days to fully cure, and then after that I will sand down a couple of the really bad spots and hit them with a can. All right, I'll see you soon. Hey everyone, just a brief interruption here. If you're enjoying this content and you'd like to support my channel, and especially if you like cats, I've written a series of chapter books for ages 8 and up, fully illustrated, called Flea Biscuit and Friends. The first book in the series is Flea Biscuit Finds a Home, followed by Flea Biscuit Summer Vacation, and finally, Flea Biscuit's Magic Christmas. They're available at all local booksellers as well as on Amazon.com. I will post a link in the video description. And hey, that's my pitch. Back to the video. All right, it's the next morning. So it's sat, 16 hours or so. So it's pretty much settled. I think I can bring it into the workshop now. You can smell it. There's so much paint on it from all those used old paint cans that I use. There's so much paint on it. But the color's kind of settled out. You can see a couple of lines in it, but really nothing bad. More on the side than on the front, but I put more attention onto the front. But yeah, overall for 2 hours and using up some old paint, it did pretty good. So I'm gonna bring it into the workshop where we'll get a better look at it. Edna. I don't know who she's howling at. Not Rusty. He's right there. Mugsy's around somewhere. Maybe she's howling at. Oh. Well, it must be Checkers. She does not like that little girl. Yep, it's Checkers. She's hiding in there. Edna, don't do that. Well, certainly an interesting way of putting these shelves in. I'm going to get the other two and I'll be back. Not bad. Interesting way these shelves go in. You latch the back and then there's catches on the front that got to be slid into place. I had these soaking in rust remover overnight. So I'm going to try to polish them up and see how much better we can get them looking. But I could always paint them red, and I think actually they would look really nice red. But if I can save the chrome, we'll try that. So I got gloves. I got goggles on. All right, I'm gonna give it a quick wipe down and then we'll see what it looks like. Well, I think overall it looks good enough to use. Just that one spot right there. I'm going to hit it a little bit more and see if it does anything. But yeah, I think we're going to polish these guys up and just use them as is with chrome. Okay, back at it. I swapped the bolts out. And now we have enough room for the cotter pin. I think we do anyway. Yep. All right. Now let me get some pliers and bend that. And then we've got at least that done. Yep, it works. Okay. So, well, it doesn't have to be that particular. It just has to not come out. All right, this one, I believe, is far simpler. I think we just have a few pieces. Handle. We got this square hold washer thingy, and then that, and then a cotter pin. See if it latches. It certainly did not latch when I got it, but it was missing hardware, so let's see what happens now. It latches. Look at that. It works. All right. Not really that much else to do. I think I'm going to put a Craftsman logo on this, just for the hell of it. So let me get that and I'll be back. All right. Yeah, finish is a little wonky down there. Can hit it with a spray can and kind of even it up a little bit. That was pretty vintage looking. All right. Looks good. All right, so that's it. I'm not going to put anything in the cabinet just yet because it needs to cure for a few more days. I did this entire job, let's see, hold on. Yeah, it's 24 hours since I started, maybe 24 and a half hours. I think I started around 4 o'clock yesterday. It's about 4:30 now. But yeah, I mean, realistically, it went a lot faster than I thought because it turns out I had more of the quartz in hammered gray, and so I just went over it with that. I mean, it's going to be storing chemicals and things like that, so it's going to get banged up and it's going to get stained and it's going to have things leak in it. So I wasn't that particular, but it looks really nice now and way better than it looked when I picked it up for free. It was all rusty and dirty and oily, and now, I mean, the handles work now. It looks decent inside. Not great. You can tell I rolled that. You can see it. I put much less emphasis on the inside than the outside. But overall, I'm really happy with it. So what did it cost me? Well, the cabinet was free. It cost me a few hours of time. I think I put in about 2 hours yesterday and maybe an hour or two today. So 4 hours of time. And the paint that I used, other than the spray can that I used to kind of even the finish off, because if you do roll it, you kind of need to spray it over that. It was all old leftover paint from a project from years ago. So I'm surprised it was actually still good. But so yeah, I mean, what did it really cost me? It cost me a new can of hammered gray, which I think is like $10 or $12, and a paintbrush and a roller, which I already had as well. So really, it didn't cost me much at all. And I've got a cool storage cabinet. And I did pay for the decal off of eBay. I think, I don't know, $5 maybe. I don't remember. It came as part of this set. This is a whole pile of these decals. I almost used that big one, but it just looks too crazy. I used the smaller one right there on that refrigerator. right there. So yeah, looks great in the shop. Well worth it. So if you enjoyed this content, or if you enjoyed some other content on my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me, it helps the channel grow. And hey, if you want to leave a comment on the way I did this, well, it was not a perfectionist job. I wasn't going for that. I was going to make it look good in a workshop, not make it look like it was brand new. And honestly, in person, it looks fantastic. So, you know, don't be worried about it. If you pick up a cabinet like this, or even a file cabinet or something for free, I mean, you can do it. Just mask off the logo like I did up top there. You know, take some of the hardware off, clean it, and give it a light sanding, well, a quick sanding with some pretty heavy grit sandpaper. Hit it with some hammered paint. I mean, I don't know, that would have taken quite a few cans. I'm talking maybe 6 cans to paint that whole thing, and that's a lot. So I'm glad I was able to roll it. But you can do it. All you need to do is go out, get busy. Take care.